What if, one day, all images vanished? No faces, no stories, no meaning, only darkness. The longer you stare at it, the stranger it becomes. Kazimir Malevich's black square cracks a window to that world. At first glance, it's nothing more than a simple shape. But if you look at it a little too long, you realize you're not looking at a painting, but at a void. And the unsettling part? Your mind cannot fill that void, because there is nothing here to hold on to, no narrative, no symbol, no meaning to escape to. There is only you and the silence. You tell me, could that be the reason behind the black square's unsettling existence, shaking us even over a century later? Not because it depicts the world, but because it shows the absence of the world. When the black square was first exhibited in 1915, people didn't understand what they were looking at, because until then, art had been doing the same thing, showing things, people, gods, wars, landscapes. Most paintings quietly guide your emotions before you even notice it. But Malevich eliminated all of that. The painting was no longer a window, it was a surface, and that surface was completely empty. Now, let's paint a picture ourselves. Imagine you're back in Malevich's world. It was falling apart. Empires were collapsing. Machines were rewriting human life. Old systems of meaning were dissolving. Was this Malevich's reason for the black square? Did he no longer see any point in depicting the world? Because there was nothing worth depicting anymore? The black square is not only a work of art, but a rupture. And just like that, art history suddenly came to a halt. Malevich called this painting the 0 point of form, meaning the point where the image can no longer be simplified. There are no objects, there is no story, there is no direction. You can see this was a very radical idea, because every representation is, in fact, a form of control. A painting tells you what to look at. It whispers what you should feel, but here, there is nothing. The viewer is truly left alone for the first time. When you look at the black square, your mind automatically tries to create meaning. It searches for a shape, a message, an explanation, but it can't find any. And precisely at this point, the work steps off the canvas and begins to take shape in your mind, because the true subject of the black square is not a black square. It is your reaction to the void. Look closely. What is it that you see? Perhaps that's why the black square feels closer to us today, because modern life hates silence. Everything expects a reaction from us, for us to buy something, to get angry at something, to desire something. And over time, our minds become addicted to constant stimulation. The moment a void appears, we want to fill it, but the black square won't let us. That black surface stands like a wall the mind cannot escape. And that's why we feel uneasy in the face of this painting. Because here, for the first time, all the noise of the modern world falls silent. And all that remains is the sound of our own thoughts. If you followed us all the way here, get closer to the painting. This detail seems important. Are those cracks? That black surface isn't completely smooth. And from beneath those cracks, other colors appear. Old layers, erasured images, unfinished attempts. This is the secret message Malevich left for the ones who know to look closer. The black square didn't just appear out of nowhere. It was the result of trying to erase things, as if Malevich had erased every single image in the world, until only darkness remained, and that darkness cracked under pressure. And perhaps that's why it feels so familiar to us today, because the modern person lives through a silent ache, calm on the outside, shattered on the inside. When the black square was first exhibited, it was placed at the holiest spot in the room, the corner where religious icons used to hang. This was a deliberate move. Malevich was declaring the sacred things are dead, and in their place, emptiness become. That is why the black square is not merely about art history. This work questions the very nature of meaning. Because when you look at the painting for a long time, you first feel uneased, then comes discomfort. But if you wait just a little longer, something extraordinary happens. Your mind begins to slow down. The noise inside you fades away, and just like that, the terrifying darkness begins to feel not like a threat, but like a sanctuary, a space where nothing demands anything from you, and then the true rest begins. Over 100 years have passed, and some are still stuck at the same question. Is this really art? Let's reframe the worries, because the power of the black square doesn't lie in what it tells us, but in what it silences within. It pulls us out of the flow of the modern world, even if just for a few seconds, and it drags us to a question even more vital. Maybe what our minds truly long for is not more images, but silence, because sometimes we don't lose ourselves in the void. For the first time, we hear our own thoughts. Does that sound like something art would do?